Because she's done it. She's done it.
She is obsessed with this. She's obsessed with the Met Gala. She's obsessed with being seen. You know she wants to go.
The Met Gala is supposed to be fashion's most glamorous night, where celebrities show up, look their best, and follow all the rules. But according to some surprising insider reports, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively may have completely broken that image. What we've learned will make you seriously question everything you thought you knew about Hollywood's so-called golden couple. Sources close to the event are now saying that Ryan and Blake were escorted out of the Met Gala. Yes, removed. Their actions were allegedly so out of line that the organizers had no choice but to ask them to leave. And we've got all the jaw-dropping details.
Blake, you are not coming this year. Like, there's no way you are coming this year. Or I could see Blake's reps be like, Blake, you are not going to that. Can you imagine if you wear the wrong handbag and everyone now declares you racist again? We just got you that fake award for all your donations. We cannot risk you on the red carpet doing something like this. So for me, yes, rumored, except we can't prove it, but I would be shocked if people around her orbit didn't demand that she make sure she not attend this year.
See, the thing is, I'm not sure about that though, because like the person, what was it, the head of Time at the gala, on the red carpet, said that she was having the best year. She was having a great year. So what's the problem? Well, if everything's great.
I hear your sarcasm, and thank you for proving my point, because such an ally to the races, you'd think perfect opportunity for her to show up and support black dandyism, as if she knows what that is.
No matter what she did, she was not going to win, and there's valid points on both sides. That kind of is where I'm sitting with this.
All I know is I would not put it past Blake to make some plantation blueberries and think it was a love letter to the South. She's that out of touch, and yes, because she's done it. She's done it. And now she's out there like, oh, I'm learning so much, and thank you, Time, blah, blah, blah. Oh, cram it.
From the moment they arrived, it was like a scene out of a movie. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively stepped onto the Met Gala's famous red carpet looking like absolute royalty. Blake wore a custom-made gown that fit her like a glove, and Ryan looked sharp in a timeless tuxedo, flashing that signature smile. Cameras were going off left and right, fans were screaming, and even the toughest fashion critics seemed impressed. It was Hollywood perfection, or so it looked. But the Met Gala isn't just a regular celebrity party. It's an invitation-only event with strict rules. Anna Wintour personally approves every guest and every outfit. And she expects flawless behavior from the moment you step in. Inside the Metropolitan Museum, there are clear boundaries. No selfies, no smoking, no excessive drinking, and absolutely no entering restricted parts of the museum. First, the couple fit right in. They were the life of the party, said one guest who preferred to stay anonymous. Laughing, chatting, taking pictures with everyone, they were complimenting other stars left and right. But then, things started to feel off. Several guests noticed that Ryan and Blake kept whispering to each other. They were exchanging looks that seemed unusually intense. They looked like they were having the time of their lives, but some guests began to notice a pattern. About every 30 minutes, the couple would quietly vanish from the main event. I saw them slip away during Rihanna's entrance, said a staff member. And if you know anything about the Met Gala, you don't miss Rihanna's grand moment. Unless you're doing something you're not supposed to. The first hour went smoothly. The second hour raised some eyebrows. By the third hour, people were openly talking. Blake's designer gown looked slightly out of place, looser, more ruffled. Ryan's hair was no longer picture perfect. And their faces? Flushed. But not in the way you'd expect from just dancing or excitement. A source close to the planning committee shared that security was asked to check certain museum areas. Apparently, Ryan and Blake had been spotted walking into restricted exhibits. Now remember, the Met holds priceless artwork and ancient artifacts. These areas are not open for guests to wander through, especially not unsupervised. What began as whispers among guests quickly turned into concern among the staff. Security guards with earpieces were seen scanning the room, clearly looking for the couple. When Ryan and Blake finally returned from one of their disappearing acts, their energy had changed. Blake kept fixing her dress, and Ryan had a smug grin he couldn't seem to wipe off. "That's when it got serious," said a catering staff member who witnessed what happened next. Two security guards in black suits walked straight over. They weren't aggressive, but they were firm. After a short, tense conversation, Ryan and Blake were quietly walked toward a side exit, flanked by the guards. Several people confirmed seeing them being led down a back hallway, away from the press, away from the crowd. According to witnesses, they looked embarrassed, but not exactly shocked. It almost seemed like they knew they had crossed a line. So the question remains, what were Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively really doing in those off-limits parts of the Met? What kind of behavior led to them being removed from the most prestigious event in fashion, and reportedly with Anna Wintour's approval? And maybe the biggest question of all, why hasn't anyone from their camp said anything about these rumors?
Blake and Ryan won't be at tonight's Met Gala. The couple's plans were revealed in March by multiple outlets, including TMZ. On March 21st, a source told Us Weekly that the news is actually not surprising, saying she's not a Kardashian that goes every year. So shading the Kardashians randomly, okay. Another source gave People similar intel, saying Blake and Ryan haven't gone since 2022 when they were co-chairs, and they will not be in attendance this year. Let me just see if there's any more. They're just saying that they're not going. Okay, they don't give a reason. It's just random. They're not going. This woman who loves fashion, who, you know, whether you like her fashion or not, I think it's abhorrent. But she is obsessed with this. She's obsessed with the Met Gala. She's obsessed with being seen. You know she wants to go.
So what exactly did Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively do that led to them being kicked out of the Met Gala? We spoke with multiple insiders who were there that night, and their stories completely flipped the script on the picture-perfect image of this Hollywood couple. I work security at the Met, and we were all given clear instructions to make sure guests stayed within the approved areas, shared one anonymous source. But those two? They kept disappearing every chance they got. First, security thought maybe they just needed a break from the spotlight. But as the night went on, it became obvious. This wasn't just a quick breather. According to a server working the event, they saw Ryan whisper something into Blake's ear that made her laugh, and then the two of them quietly slipped through a side door right near the Temple of Dender exhibit, an area that was clearly roped off and off-limits for the night. Not everyone believes they were doing anything scandalous. They probably just wanted a little space from the cameras, said a fellow celebrity guest. The Met Gala can be overwhelming. Sometimes you just need 5 minutes to yourself. But others had a much different story. A maintenance worker told us he accidentally walked in on the couple in the ancient Egyptian wing, another area that was completely closed to guests. They were shocked when they saw me, he said. Blake was sitting on a bench and Ryan was standing very close. They looked like teenagers who got caught sneaking around. You could tell they weren't supposed to be there. Another insider claims their behavior only got bolder as the evening continued. The first time they left and came back, they looked normal. The second time, Blake's lipstick was a little smudged. By the third time, her hair was coming undone, and Ryan's bow tie wasn't even tied anymore. Even more alarming, security footage from the event reportedly shows Ryan and Blake sneaking into restricted areas not once, not twice, but 4 different times, and each time they returned, they looked more disheveled and less worried about who might see. A body language expert who reviewed video from earlier in the evening even picked up on red flags. There's a moment on the red carpet where Ryan places his hand much lower on Blake's back than what's typically acceptable in public, the expert pointed out. The way they were interacting that night suggested a couple who were highly charged and not trying to hide it. But it all came to a head later that night. According to someone with direct knowledge of the situation, a museum curator walked into the ancient Greece exhibit and caught Ryan and Blake in an extremely compromising position. They were being intimate against a display case holding artifacts worth millions, the source claimed. The curator was absolutely horrified, not just by their behavior, but by the fact that they were risking damage to irreplaceable historical objects. At that point, there was no more looking the other way. Museum officials immediately notified Met Gala security. Couple was swiftly removed from the building. Anna Wintour doesn't tolerate anything like this, an event coordinator explained. The Met Gala is all about elegance, culture, and respect for the museum. What they did wasn't just inappropriate. It was completely disrespectful to the entire event. Now the question is, what does this mean for Ryan and Blake's carefully managed public image? Are they really the sweet, family-first couple we see in interviews and social media? Or have they been hiding a much wilder side from the public all along?
But that is something that over time you earn with a team. To me, it is extremely unprofessional to walk in when you're given a position and your job is to do that position, and then as you complete that, then potentially more responsibility is given to you. Or you can then voice like, hey, I'd like to try this. And it goes on and it's organic, but you have to work with the team. Every workplace is a team. And what it sounds like is that she's not interested in being a part of a team. She just wants to own it all. And that's fine. If that is your method of working, then do that. But you have to create your own projects. You have to put yourself in that position that you are in charge, not take it from somebody else.
Security cameras at the Met Gala reportedly caught the exact moment when organizers decided they'd had enough of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's behavior. The footage, which hasn't been made public, allegedly shows two security guards in black suits walking straight toward the couple just as they returned from yet another off-limits area. "It was uncomfortable to watch," said one person who was nearby when it all went down. The guards tried to keep it low-key, but it was obvious something serious was happening. Ryan, ever the charmer, kept smiling like he could joke his way out of it, but the security team wasn't playing along. Conversation that followed was quiet but clearly tense. According to a witness, they heard a guard say, "Mr. Reynolds, Miss Lively, we need you to come with us immediately." Ryan tried to laugh it off and asked if there was a problem. Meanwhile, Blake's face reportedly turned bright red. Other celebrities nearby definitely noticed the commotion. A waiter working the event said, "Kendall Jenner's jaw literally dropped." Kim Kardashian acted like she wasn't paying attention, but she was watching everything. Taylor Swift, who's known to be close friends with Blake, looked genuinely worried and even tried to step in, but her publicist quickly held her back. Met Gala organizers were doing everything they could to avoid a public meltdown. Instead of walking the couple through the main hall, they guided them through a back service corridor. Event staff moved fast, blocking the view of photographers and keeping other guests distracted with drinks and hors d'oeuvres. "Anna Wintour was furious," said an assistant who works closely with the Vogue editor. "When she found out what they'd been doing, she went ice cold. All she said was, 'Get them out. Now.' And when she speaks like that, no one questions her." According to a security team member, Ryan and Blake tried to explain themselves. Ryan said it was all a misunderstanding, that they were just trying to find a bathroom, the source shared. Blake claimed they got turned around and were just exploring the museum. But their excuses didn't hold up. A museum curator had already reported exactly what they were doing, and it wasn't sightseeing. Their exit was awkward, to say the least. Staff members stood quietly along the hallway, pretending not to notice as the A-list couple made their way toward the back. Blake kept her head down, avoiding eye contact. Ryan, still trying to keep things light, made small talk with the guards, but they didn't respond. "They didn't let them out through the main doors where all the paparazzi were," explained an event coordinator. "Instead, they were taken out through a loading dock, where a black SUV was already waiting. The whole removal took less than 5 minutes. The decision came from the top." Met Gala officials felt letting the couple stay would harm the event's reputation and disrespect the museum. Before they were driven off, Ryan and Blake were allegedly informed they would not be invited back next year. This scandal has opened up a bigger question about what really goes on behind the scenes at exclusive events like the Met Gala. Is this a rare incident, or have other celebrity misbehaviors been quietly covered up in the past before the public found out?
At Blake Lively celebrating black dandyism on the 2025 red carpet. Here she is in her look, Kim. The Blake Brown product placement the reveal of a new product of Blake Brown, now with plantation blueberries. And of course, she brought a tray of blueberry slavery muffins for everyone to have, because she just wants to romanticize that deep South history of how the blues came from and where it came from, and the blueberries from the blues, and, you know, Black History Month and all that stuff. So why not celebrate some Blake Brown now with plantation berry? Honestly, this is a joke. This is AI, of course.
Yeah, please.
But it was shocking, Kim, how many in the chat thought this was real. I mean, isn't it kind of crazy how this could actually be something she might wear?
I would hope not. I would hope not. I do think this was kind of one of these situations where whether she went or she didn't, she was not going to win in the press, and both have very good points. I do think that it is interesting that her Time 100 honor had to do with reportedly her donation to the NAACP a number of years ago. And we really didn't hear much about her activism on that front in her speech at the Time Gala. And this could have been an opportunity for her to talk about, you know, activism with this at this event, but that's not what happened. I also wonder, like Andy, I was saying earlier in the show, quite bluntly, I would assume that there would be a lot of fittings, there would be a lot of things she'd need to do with designers to get ready, both her and Ryan, to be able to be a part of this event. And they have been very busy traveling all over the place for the promo of Another Simple Favor. So I'm guessing that if there is truth to they decided not to go, it may have been because schedules were too busy, or they just didn't really want to put themselves out there with all of the scandal. But there also could be another side plot, you know, with the speculation and the opinion that maybe they were not welcome. But ultimately, I haven't seen anything concrete to be able to fully cement that. But yeah, definitely their absence was noted.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively aren't the first stars to bend the rules at the Met Gala, but what they're accused of doing has quickly become one of the most outrageous incidents in the event's history. Over the years, this high-profile fashion night has seen plenty of celebrities push the limits. Remember Kylie Jenner's bathroom selfie moment back in 2017? She rounded up a bunch of celebrities in the ladies' room for a viral group shot, completely breaking Anna Wintour's strict no selfies policy. Wintour was reportedly livid, but no one got kicked out. In 2015, Rihanna turned heads with her massive yellow gown, which became an internet meme overnight. What most people don't know is that she showed up nearly 2 hours late. For Anna Wintour, that's a serious offense. But again, no removal, no ban. The Met Gala comes with very specific expectations, shared a former event planner who worked with the museum for years. No smoking, no social media, no food that could stain the exhibits, and absolutely no wandering into closed-off parts of the museum. Still, it's not unusual for celebrities to ignore those rules. Bella Hadid and Ruby Rose were caught smoking in the bathrooms in 2017. Wiz Khalifa openly admitted to lighting up marijuana during the 2019 gala. Even Madonna, back in 2013, was rumored to have been warned for touching display artifacts. Yet none of them got kicked out. What many don't realize is that the Met Gala has a whole set of unwritten rules too. Guests are expected to follow the night's theme, always accept an introduction from Anna, avoid foods that could cause bad breath, and never linger once the event wraps up. It's about more than just fashion. It's about maintaining the elegance, order, and reputation of the event. There's a reason these rules exist, explained a museum curator. The Met is home to priceless artwork and historical pieces. These guidelines protect those items and the museum's image. When someone breaks the rules, it's a serious issue. Usually, when someone steps out of line, things are handled quietly. Purity may issue a quiet warning, or someone from Vogue might pull the guest aside. For repeat rule breakers, the harshest punishment is a revoked invite the following year. That's exactly what happened to designer Calvin Klein after his guests behaved inappropriately at the 2016 event. So, do stars like Ryan and Blake get special treatment? In some ways, yes. Their fame gives them access and attention. But that spotlight also comes with pressure. They're expected to set an example, said a longtime security consultant for the event. If someone pays $35,000 for a ticket and breaks a small rule, they might get a warning. But A-listers? They're held to a higher standard. And if they slip up, the fallout is worse. What makes Ryan and Blake's situation so extreme is that it reportedly wasn't just about breaking minor rules. According to multiple sources, their behavior crossed the line into something far more serious. This wasn't just a selfie or a late arrival. It was allegedly intimate behavior in an area filled with ancient artifacts worth millions. Smoking in the bathroom is one thing, said a source from the events planning team. But having sex near priceless Greek statues? That's a whole different level of disrespect. This scandal could do lasting damage to the public image Ryan and Blake have spent years building. Up until now, they've been viewed as Hollywood sweethearts, charming, funny, devoted to their kids, and always poking fun at each other online. But this incident shows a completely different side to them. Now people are wondering, have we been wrong about Ryan and Blake all along?
I have so much to say about the last 2 years of my life, but tonight is not the forum.
So does that mean she's going to do an Oprah interview? Oh my God, bring it on.
What I will speak to separately is the feeling of being a woman who has a voice today.
Sorry, I keep interrupting, but I got a commentary, and I'm so sick of her saying, a woman who has a voice today, as if she didn't have a voice previously. Girl, you have one of the loudest voices I've seen in Hollywood. You stole the entire damn movie from Justin. You threatened him. I will not promote this unless I get this. I will not do this unless you get that. I will not sign that until I get this. You have the biggest voice I've seen. I've watched far too many interviews. You're all about authorship and getting your way. So don't you dare keep trying to play like you are a woman that doesn't have a voice.
And since I could speak, because of the pain, caution, and fight of the many women who have paved the way and the men who stood beside them.
Oh, thank you all women for allowing me to take this man's movie and be a mean girl and do whatever I want. Thank you, women. I hope you're proud of me now. Are you proud, women? Let me know in the comments as you're watching.
Millions I will never know the name of, because every life, every act, big or small, affects another. Before I say more, I want to warn that I will speak about tonight covers trauma, so please feel free to step away if you need.
Yeah, just leave the gala, go into the lobby, I guess, and sorry, because I got to share a story to help my PR.
In the days after the Met Gala scandal broke, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively did something that spoke louder than any statement. They went completely silent. Couple, usually known for their playful social media banter and frequent family updates, suddenly stopped posting. No jokes. No photos. No promotions. Nothing. And for many watching closely, that silence said it all. They're absolutely mortified, said a source who works closely with the couple. This isn't just embarrassing, it threatens the wholesome, family-friendly brand they've worked years to build. They're in full crisis mode right now. While Ryan and Blake themselves stayed quiet, their team was reportedly working overtime behind the scenes. Several entertainment reporters claimed they were contacted by the couple's PR reps, asking them not to publish stories about the alleged incident. Some were even offered future exclusives, interviews, red carpet access, you name it, in exchange for backing off the scandal. It's the same playbook they always use when bad press pops up, explained one Hollywood publicist familiar with their strategy. First, go silent. Then start working the phones to kill the story. Finally, drop something sweet about their kids or some charity project to change the subject. It's PR 101 and they're masters at it. But this time, their silence wasn't just damage control. People close to Ryan and Blake claim the entire situation has been wildly exaggerated. Did they sneak into a restricted part of the museum? Possibly. Were they getting a little too affectionate? Maybe. But were they caught having sex next to priceless artifacts? Absolutely not, said a close friend of the couple. That's ridiculous. People are running wild with rumors that just aren't true. Their celebrity friends seem to agree, and have been quietly supporting the couple behind the scenes. Taylor Swift, a longtime friend of Blake's, has reportedly offered help with managing the fallout. Hugh Jackman, one of Ryan's closest friends, allegedly called to offer moral support. Even Anna Wintour has kept silent about the situation, something insiders believe might be a sign she's willing to let this scandal blow over. But the damage may already be done. What makes this so bad isn't just the rumors, it's who we're talking about, said a brand management expert. If this were someone like Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox, no one would be surprised. But Ryan and Blake have built their brand around being the perfect couple. This goes against everything they present to the public. According to insiders, the couple has been working with top crisis management experts to contain the fallout. Their team has allegedly been tracking down anyone who witnessed the incident, asking them to sign non-disclosure agreements. They've also reportedly consulted with lawyers about suing outlets that print false or exaggerated claims. They're terrified the real details will leak, one source revealed. Not because they were doing what people are claiming, but because the truth is still embarrassing enough to hurt their reputations. As the days go on and the scandal refuses to die down, questions remain. Will Ryan and Blake be welcomed back to the next Met Gala? Will fashion brands and luxury labels start to distance themselves? And most importantly, will the couple finally break their silence and reveal what really happened that night? Only time will tell.
Once most by my mother, sitting here tonight, Willie Elaine McAlpin.
Oh, Blake's mother. Oh, I don't know what's worse, when celebrities need affection or if they need to have now their parents get affection.
She's an eternal optimist, and she's always leaving me messages, hooping and hollering and saying, "Woo, life's just a bowl of cherries." It's true, always. And she'll get your number tonight. She'll leave you those messages, so please be warned.
Oh my God, steer clear. Steer clear, people.
But at her urging and her unwavering bravery, she wanted me to share with you that she is a survivor of the worst crime someone can commit against a woman.
She's using the Time 100 Gala to reveal this? Girl, did you forget you had a whole movie about this that you refused to talk about? That literally, someone's like, what do people do if they have this and they want to talk about the subject matter? Oh, they can get my social security number or my location share. I don't know. Like, you did everything in your power to avoid this topic. And you had a mom who went through it, and now you're dropping it out during this whole drama that's backfired on you, and you thought this is the time and place? And how convenient that People Magazine's there with their iPhone to catch and post this evening. Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
The full truth about what really happened between Ryan and Blake at the Met Gala might never come out. But one thing is clear, the damage to their carefully polished image is already done. For years, fans have looked up to them as the ultimate couple. Funny, charming, seemingly perfect. But after this scandal, many are starting to question what really goes on behind closed doors. Their picture-perfect public persona has cracked. Whether they were actually caught being intimate near priceless artifacts, or just caught breaking a few rules, the incident pulled back the curtain and reminded everyone, celebrities aren't always who they appear to be. And while Ryan and Blake continue to stay silent, one thing feels almost certain. Anna Wintour just might forget to send them an invite to next year's Met Gala.